Hey guys and girls, who have I got there? There's someone waiting. Gosh. Welcome to the spare room anyway. Are we hearing everything loud and clear? That's the second one. Who have I got? I got Chirpy. Hey Chirpy. Just watched your video. Dan Harold, hi. I'm actually the right way round this time, which is excellent. Just turned the lathe off. I've been making parts for this shaper. I sort of had everything clean, but I ended up doing some work, so things tend to get dirty again. So what have we been doing? Yeah, the pulley on my die filer is a little bit small, I think. This is probably bigger than yours. I don't know. This stands about, give you some idea, it stands about 9 inches to the top there, plus the table. Went and bought a bush for this today, which is pretty exciting. The pulley that come with it is only about 4 inches and it's flat belt. I don't think this is fast enough to be honest. I don't think it's a big enough pulley on there to run off an electric motor. I think it needs to run a lot slower than that. I think probably about an 8-inch V pulley is the best thing on here, maybe. That's just my thoughts. Anyway, that's not that exciting. We're going to go hands-free here. Yeah, sewing machine motor runs at about 6,000 RPM though. But anyway, this is the new clapper for the shapers coming along. Really pleased with that. It's got about the right amount of stiction there to be good. It's a nice fit. The pin's in exactly the same spot as the other one, so I'm really pleased with that. I put oil hole in it last. So that's what we're working on. Over here at the lathe today, this is the new lantern. So a bit of work still to go on that, but that goes through the hole. So we're getting there. Got some awesome parcels today. This week anyway. A copy of the Steam Chest, which is the National 2.5-inch Gauge Association journal. Some of you might have seen that on social media, but there's a really quick short article there from me on that lining pen I made. So that's pretty exciting. It's awesome that they printed that. I think they'll print anything you send in. It's kind of that sort of journal. But anyway, that come. Now, Curly sent an electric sewing machine motor. Huge thanks for this. I don't think I'm going to use it, Curly, because it's just a little bit dangerous here. This plug seems to have been broken at some stage. And I plugged it in and it all runs up nice. It's a nice little motor. And when I went to unplug it, it come apart here and zapped me. So I'm really a little bit scared of that. I've got a hole in my finger now. Lesson learned, but at some point, if anyone knows where I can get a plug like this is a great motor for something. A few of you there. Hi, everyone. It's about a minute. Cam at Battler in Melbourne sent me this motor. This is a bit of a score, actually. This is a genuine French Gravigraph high-speed motor. Hey, Duncan. With a nice solid mount on it and an on-off switch, and it's all wired up. It's got a flat belt pulley on it already, about the right diameter. This is a nice, smooth, fast motor, and hopefully this is what I'm going to use. It's probably a bit physically big, but I'm pretty happy about that. That's going to go on the engraver. So big thanks there to Cameron. That's an awesome score. He sent a bit of a box, and that was really nice. Thanks, Cameron. There's some slot drills there. Always nice to have them. 7/16, and that one looks like he's about 5/16. Probably 3/8 and probably 1/2 inch. So thanks heaps for them. And someone took pity on me and sent me some red stripe high-speed steel hacksaw blades, which I always need. That's an awesome present. There's also a spindle there off a Gravigraph with most of the collet chuck and the adjustment there for the height and the bearings and spindle, and this is supposed to be spring loaded, but it's stuck, and the slide on the back. Might be some projects for that. I can think of a couple of projects for that. Whether we'll get to them in the next little while, I don't know, but I can think of some awesome things to do with that. Hey, Ali Tech. What else? This come today, and I don't know anything about these, so spare me the technical jargon, because I'm really not an expert, and I've got a friend who's probably watching, Adam Carmichael in Sydney, who's offered to draw up some schematics. This is NEMA 17, which I'm told reliably means there's 1.7 inches between the screw holes. I didn't know about that. Hey, Cam. Sorry, you're a couple of minutes too late. You've probably seen it, but We just had a look in your box of goodies, and thanks heaps, Cam. So, bought this. And I've been messing around here with the 3D printer, and I printed these. This is a 2.5 pitch tooth belt pulley, or the inner of it. And I've got a block of aluminium. Ooh, date night, Cam. Lucky someone's getting some, because I'm not. But anyway, I got other priorities. I'm going to slice a piece of that and make a sandwich each side on this PLA printed pulley, and just see if that works as a pulley for this stepper motor to run the x-axis on the little horizontal mill, because I got a blister last week running the mill when I was making this little clapper box. So not a huge fan really of cranking handles backwards and forwards for hours at end. Myford Boy making a really nice little you see, you watch my other videos, I cut out all these pauses when I can't think of what to say. A nice little power feed for x-axis on his mill. He's got I can't even think what his mill is. It's a little English mill. So that's the idea. Just have a speed controller with basically a backwards and forwards and on-off switch, and a speed control on a knob, so that I don't have to crank this hand mill and give myself blisters. So that's a project that sort of is going to happen pretty quick, and it mightn't even get to camera, but it's something I need for this milling machine. Don't know what else there is to report, really. I did get the bushes chirpy. I probably already said that. I got new bush for the die filer. To go in here, because this one's about 6-sided. It still needs a bit out of it to go in there, but I'll get the old one out and I'll push that one in, and we'll fix that. And that is heaps long enough. And the other one hopefully will be go in the center of this gear, and we want to make a clutch with a pin, so that you pull the pin out and this disengages on a bronze bush, I think. That's the idea. I've got some sort of ideas, but we'll see how that works. Don't know, really. Everyone's quiet. What does everyone want to see? Hey, Ben. Hey, good to catch up. Hey, Lisa. We're all Australian tonight. Must be a time zone thing. Chirpy might be the odd one out. So it works all right with the diamond files. I'm yet to be convinced how useful this machine is. I think it'll have some potential, especially in brass and soft stuff, but this is designed for 1/4-inch die filer files, which are almost impossible to get, I think. I don't know where you would find them. If anyone sees them on eBay, drop me a link. I know you all look on eBay for stuff. There's no denying that. You can't get out of that. Everyone does it. We ought to run an engine. A 5 a.m. damn, that's crazy. 11 a.m. in the UK. I don't know anything about stepper motors, Masso. Really don't know anything about them at all. I know it's got 4 wires and a plug. And I know that you can't just hook it up to a torch battery. But let's have a look over here and sort of see what I thought I was going to do. We might take you off this stand. And unplug you here. We're over here in the dark. This is what I've got here. This little hand wheel was pretty hard on the hands, actually. And we did find some light. That might be better. Yep. So it's just here on it's got a keyway, a little woodruff key in there, and a screw to hold it in place. This is a fairly nice diameter here. I'm going to make a collar that goes on there, and then that plastic wheel with the aluminium surround is going to spin on that with a pin in it, and I'm going to bolt on these two here. Yeah, too much science, Chimpy. Chirpy, too much science. I'm not good with that. I got to make probably even a casting that hangs down here and put the motor out this way rather than behind, because that way I can run up close to the column and the mill there. I think that's the idea. So the motor will sit out here on sort of on legs, and then have the pulley in between the motor and the plate, and a flat tooth belt, I think, to drive that. Not that it really needs to be, because it doesn't take a lot of power to run this through. Even against a cut, it doesn't take much. So that's the plan for that. This mill's a Centec. When you come up close to it, it's not very big. My hand span is sort of nearly across the machine. We're standing between the light and the machine at the moment. So it needs pulling apart and a good clean, and it hasn't had that yet. It's actually done a fair bit of work in the last little week or so. Yeah, I've got a friend who's volunteered already. I don't even think it needs a limit switch. To be honest, all it really needs is some sort of a setting on it so that we can feed through at the right setting, and then I can fast forward it back out and then feed forward again at the same setting to get the same finish. So it needs some sort of positive setting on the switch, and that's about all, I think. I'm not going to be running it past the ends of the board or forgetting it or turning it off and not thinking about it. So this is a bit of a enigma here. why this mill runs so fast. This is on the slower speed, and I've changed this pulley out from a 9-inch or a 9-inch pulley to a 12-inch pulley. So I've got a lot slower, and it's still not really slow enough even for that little 2.5-inch cutter there. So at some point I've got a motor to go on this, which will be 960 RPM instead of 1440, I think this one is. So that should slow us down half as much again. And probably I put a VFD on that because it's 3-phase, and we might get, yeah, 40% reduction, something like that, and that might be enough. But it's a nice little mill. Yeah, I've been sort of looking at your workshop, Cam. I'm not a CNC person, and I really don't like troubleshooting machines. If it was just all about writing code and making things work, and making programs for things, I'd probably be okay with it. And I have a 3D printer, and I'm sort of okay with that. But when I spend more time troubleshooting the machine than I actually do making things, it becomes a problem. So anyway, I'm just looking at Myford Boyd's build, and he's done quite a nice, neat job of an X drive on a milling machine, and I sort of reckon we can do something like that very simply and very cheaply. There's Cam's motor there. It's probably fairly heavy for that machine, but we ought to get that over here and have a bit of a look. Oh crap. I just lost the trolley off the rail. Oops. Don't know how that happened. Have some improvements for that camera trolley. If I live long enough, I might even fit them up. I think I've just got an off-the-shelf board that works, that'll just basically do exactly what I want. So that might be the best answer. More of that as we sort of update. I've got this Multifix tool holder. This is a German one. It's a really nice aftermarket holder. And much nicer than the Chinese one, and hopefully it's soft enough to drill. I'm going to bore this and put some sort of a cam lock arrangement in it, maybe, for a boring bar holder. So that's a project. I've got a really nice boring bar from Solid Rock Machining, which I used on the clapper box and was really impressed with. So I'm going to put that on there. And as luck would happen on my trip to America, hey Morris, hey Max, Tom Lipton made me a gift of this little set of helical ground boring bars. They're a really nice set, and they're the same diameter as the one from Solid Rock. So hopefully I can make a holder that works for all of them with this tool holder. And that'll fix all my boring bar problems. Still got wet paint. Crap. So, hey John. This is starting to look a little bit more tidy. This is the system that it had on here for the sewing machine motor, and it's a bit sort of crap. So I'm probably going to make something better there. And fingers crossed, it'll have some sort of a pin system to work off here, I think, with a hinge for tensioning, maybe even. We'll see about that. But I think all it needs is probably a bar up here with a bar to hold this. And that's probably going to be really nice on there. So thanks, Cam, again. This piece of aluminium come. Are you in LA, Chirpy? You didn't tell me that. I've been there in the last month. Had a week with nothing to do. I bought this piece of aluminium and I'm going to run some dovetail grooves in there, in this lengthways for the letters. I think I'll go and borrow a milling machine and do that. I've got a piece of brass coming to make little legs like this with dovetails on them, the same as, I don't know if you can see that. It's a little dovetail piece in here that sits underneath. And these want to be a little bit lower so that this can go in under there like that if it has to. So that's going to be the letter platen, and that's sort of one of the next jobs. But this is looking a little bit tidier, I think. Starting to look like a real machine again. He's got some really cool stuff, John. Really enjoying his videos. If anyone else is watching and you're looking for a new channel, Mark Presley, he's in Australia somewhere. I really don't know where. He seems a really nice guy. He's done some pretty cool stuff. His spot welder project is really a bit inspiring. A really nice job. Go and check out his channel. But no, I haven't managed to get to his demagnetizer video yet. I saw your email, and to be honest, life's a bit crazy sometimes. But I will get to it. I got some submissions, and from regular videos as of this weekend, I'm going to put a little bit of a viewer's submission segment so that if you've got a project and you're not on YouTube and you really don't share your stuff anywhere, send me an email, missemajade@gmail.com. And no spaces, no underscores, no hyphens, no nothing. All lowercase. And I'll make a little segment going so that we can see what everyone's making, because there's some cool stuff being made out there. Anyway, that's probably just a general update, really. There's not a whole lot happened. There's lots of goodies come in the mail, and there's a little bit of progress. John Creasy was disparaging about my roughing out finish on the lathe. He really wasn't very nice about it anyway. He asked what sort of knurling tool I was using. And this is actually pretty smooth. It's still got ridges in it. And this machine doesn't go really fast enough. And my tool's got a bit blunt now, but this is getting down to size. This is the lantern that goes through the... So there'll be another video about that, and I'm sort of filming it as I go. And if you haven't seen that, go and check that video out. This is the new clapper box that I'm making, or a new clapper for the clapper box. And this has got a recess to retain that, and that goes up against here. And the rest goes through the hole. It won't yet, but that's kind of where we're at. And now he's trying to make us pretend he's all at the gym, so... Yeah, good on you, John. We appreciate the effort you put into it. Hope everyone else does. Don't know if there's much else to add, so I'm going to call this a day, I think. Thanks for dropping by, everyone. I really appreciate it. This is going to be a regular thing, I think. It might not stick out to 30 minutes or 40 minutes because we're going to run out of things to... Hey, Rob. We're going to run out of things to actually fill it up. But I was looking at my notebook. And this is the first page of tool making projects that I may or may not have planned. So seriously, don't sort of expect me to run out of things to make anytime soon. The one on the top's nearly crossed off. I need a box for my milling cutters. That's going to happen. I've got an ellipse chuck half made. I need power feed on the mill. I need lights over there because it's dark. And we need to fit a new motor. We need to put a dial indicator holder for the height adjustment. And it needs a drawbar. We haven't got a drawbar in that mandrel yet. And we need a swelf guard. And we need a cabinet to go under it. We need an oil drip tray. Yeah, I want to make a lathe that fits on... I want to make or find a chuck that fits in the collets on this lathe so it's nice and repeatable. Just a little four jaw. Probably it's going to be a Sherlane one if I can afford one. I've got a back gear. Mark Presting actually has just made a copy of Tubal Cain or Mr. Pete's pull gear for the drill press. I've got drawings. I've got drawings of a gear to go. Oh gosh. I don't know if this is really a smart idea. But in this pulley up here, I don't know if you can see that. In overhead gear, in this pulley, I've got drawings of a similar back gear as that pull gear with the planetary arrangement, which was drawn up in 1911. This pulley is not the original for the lathe. When I bought the lathe, the pulley that was matched to the headstock had an inner that was made out of wood, and it was mostly PTFT tape and poly pipe, actually, and it was a bit rough. So I got a metal inner put in a drill board and fitted to it so that the pulleys are matched. But I would like to make a pulley for here with a back gear in it so that we can run some slower and some faster speed. So that's a project too. I want to make a threading attachment for this lathe, and some of you have probably already seen my plans for that, or some mock-ups and things on social media.